to the back bumper of the 32. And this has been so hard to pass down here, but Emerson gonna clear Maiato. Not gonna go low. He's gonna try and fake the 48. Travato using the inside lane. Maiato now up half a groove. The second position looks for his first race win. Oh, hard contact. Maiato up in the air, up on the hood, on top of the Geico machine. All over his back bumper. And have to be very tactical with his moves. Oh, and hard under braking. Travato nearly locked it up there. St. Barrett, big slide out of turn number 1. Comes Chris Samar, Kevin Cornelius. They're going to make a charge in the third lane. Is it too little, too late? Are they going to have the run out of turn number 4? Mark Emerson down low. They're all going to wreck. Dennis Fairclough in the lead right now. Here comes Nick Gardner. Hello and welcome to the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series live tonight from the Homestead Miami Speedway. Is the round of 12 elimination race in the playoffs for the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series. Tonight's race sponsored by Outlaw Desert Racing. This is Outlaw Desert Racing 5. Check those guys out. They offer adrenaline therapy, help a 20-day veteran suicide, and a really great cause over there. Learn more about them, use the video description. Outlaw Desert Racing, adrenaline therapy. You also see a video on that a little bit later tonight. Tonight's race 16 of 20 here, and the final race in round of 12. Homestead Miami Speedway, 100 laps. We run here tonight, 125 miles. Everybody chasing that car here in the practice session. Fastest. Got 6 wins this season already. First 15 races. Could be a favorite one tonight. A lot of drivers in contention. 12 to be exact. Try and on next round already. 2 locked in. That is Zach Carr and Maiato. Maiato on this as well. Currently 7th for the year practice session. Take a look at the tonight's race. That car, Keith Maiato locked in. AJ Travato, a very comfortable margin to that cut line, but not guaranteed. Moment. Seth Hatchell, Jeremy Miller, Reggie Ortega, Bo Ronis, Anthony Pelican, Alex Martinez, Jeremiah Vince, Chris Samard. That whole group of cars separated by just tonight's race. So all of those drivers will be ones to watch here in the race tonight. Have to see where they end up. End of 150 laps. Find out who is moving on to round of 8. Bradley Wilson in a must-win situation here tonight on the racetrack, headed out for qualifying right now. Are your drivers to watch in tonight's race? Bradley Wilson getting up to here. Number 51, Shenandoah Shine Machine. Shenandoah Shine, of course, the presenting sponsor of the series and team Shenandoah Shine. Bradley Wilson, their last remaining shot at a championship here in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series. Do or die tonight for him. On board now. Running up there right by that outside barrier. Bradley was very exciting last week at Sonoma, where he was feeling this race car, willing it around some of those corners. Looks like he's going to be trying to put on a show for us here, running the wall tonight. Of course, this mile-and-a-half racetrack, a little different than some of the others. You've got progressive banking around the track, and Bradley having trouble up there by the wall. Currently 3rd quick after lap 1, but lap 2 not going to be possible for him as he wrecks it 1 and 2. Jeremy Miller currently quickest over Zach Carr. You guys can pick up the pace on lap number. Jeremy Miller showing the way. A race winner this season, also trying to fight his way into the round of 8. He will not improve on lap number 2. Neither will Zach Carr. Chris Samard, third quick. He's also got to try and point his way in tonight. Finds victory lane. Bradley Wilson currently shuffled back to 5th as Maiato now to the top of the charts. 36 car has been so good in qualifying this. Got 2 poles. This was pole number 3 and almost the all-time pole winner here in the Below the Double Yellow Racing League. Up and X. That car still out here getting some more practice. One more playoff driver, Seth Hatchell, 7th on qualifying boards. Dennis Faircloth currently 10th. Ryan Gebel goes to 3rd. AJ Stravato to 2nd. He has won the last 2 races here at Homestead Series. Looking to go 3 in a row at this racetrack. Alex Pelican up and over on lap number 2. He'll 10th quick. Jeremiah Vincent, like he is 11th for the moment. I don't think it's going to be a valid lap. I think he's already done his 2. Trying to get a bit more practice. Brandon Pearl sporting a different paint scheme here tonight. He's going to go around. So Ronas, one of the playoff drivers, just had a quiet run this season. Nonetheless, very successful so far. He's got 4 top 5s. Average start at 13th, average finish 12th, which is definitely top 10 best series. Goes to work each and every race for another solid result here tonight. Here into the race, just 4 points above the cut line, so he needs to be solid. Be a mistake-free run. Alec Martinez, one driver that surprised you on the outside looking. Currently 4th quick after his qualifying laps. Had 20 take a time. Quite a few have not brought it onto the racetrack. That car still getting some more practice out here. We are approaching the drivers' meeting here in about 20 seconds. They won't be able to take lap times, or at least they won't count for a pole if they take one and win the pole. Could be an exciting one here tonight. These guys should be able to run almost anywhere on the racetrack. How this track wears in, how the tires fall off. Tonight's race, 77-degree air temp, so pretty cool. Plenty of grip for these drivers. That means they're going to be able to go at it here, and curbing the tires will be the name of the game tonight. So we'll have to find out. Practice essentially over. They're headed to the drivers' meeting, and we will be right back after a quick message from tonight's sponsor. The most challenging issue veterans face is reintegrating back into civilian life. This is increasingly hard with combat veterans that have witnessed the brutal environments of war. The issues they face include the sense of not having a purpose, the lack of camaraderie, and no longer being on a team. Adrenaline Therapy's mission is to bring veterans out of their element and introduce them to the fun and relaxation of the off-road. This is a way to help make these veterans feel a part of something again. This is what we call Adrenaline Therapy. In doing so, our goal is to help eliminate the 22-a-day epidemic of veteran suicide. Learn more by visiting outlawdesertracing.com/adrenaline therapy. Back at the racetrack now with our starting grid tonight. Maiato will take the pole here. The number 36 Camaro take over that top spot with 32.601 being the fast time tonight. Congrats to keep the pole here. That puts second all time in AJ Stravato, who is right up there in the mix for that pole award. Second on the grid tonight. He'll have a starting spot to try and secure his way in round number 6 of the playoffs. Ryan Gemmel quite advanced into the playoffs this season. Going to try and play spoiler once again. Rolling off from the third position outside Alec Martinez. Tied at the cut line. Going to be trying to find his way into the top 8 before it's all said and done here tonight. Rolling off from the 5th, Jeremy Miller. Starting in 6th, Reggie Ortega. Those are both playoff drivers trying to advance. Well, Zach Carr already moving on, rolling off 7th here tonight, and Pelican right around that cut line. He'll be starting 9th, Chris Samard, who has to dig out of second deepest hole here tonight. Going to be rolling off from 9th, Seth Hatchell starting in. Alex Pelican off from 11th, Jeremiah Vincent starting from 12th spot. Joshua Abbey starting in 13th, Bradley Will starting in the spot, and it's Faircloth starting from 15th. Invaders Anonymous. Cody Adkins starting in. Eric Lambert will be rolling off from 17th. Chat. Luck out there tonight. Eric rolling off 18th. Ronis 17th. Playoff driver. got some work to do. On Garrett Wolfenbarger rolling off from 19th. Outside will be Jordan Shepler. First, Brandon Pearl. 22nd, Josiah Vincent. Third, Dallas Sullivan. 24th, Timmy Kelly. Fifth is Elaine Stolfridge. 20th, James Loveland. 7th tonight is Dice. 20th, Zach Smith. Rounding out the here tonight, Robert Gilmore. There's Anonymous. Front of the field, pace car makes its way off. We're about to go green here for the Outlaw Desert Racing 225 from Homestead. Green flag in the air. Great jump for AJ Stravato as he gets a nose out in front of Maiato down into turn 1. Side by side they go. Big tap right there from the 18 to the 33. As Stravato checked up a bit and the whole field checking up as yellow is out. We got tied up down in turn number 1, the 39 and the 40. Jimmy Emanuele, Robert Gilmore bring out the yellow flag straight away. Go check it out. Right at the start of the race, Emanuele right here, number 39 Machine, rose from the back of the pack, caught up in something here. He gets loose all on his own. Hard overcorrect and nowhere for Robert Gilmore to go. Jimmy bounced off the wall. Let's go back and take a look here. That 39 loose, turns hard right, and then Robert Gilmore goes right in. Come to rest down on the apron here in turns 1 and 2. They are able to get rolling, but it's going to be surely the end of their competitive nights right out of the gate. Maiato was able to hold on to the lead. Alec Martinez already charged up to 2nd, 4th. They'll have a good vantage point on this next start. Get a feel for what Maiato is doing. Third position, right where he started. AJ already lost 2 spots after they got together in turn 1. AJ had the same thing happen to him that Tim did, but hang on to it. Alec quite check up in time. Doesn't look damaged to the front of the 18. Bit on left rear, or actually for the middle of the rear for Otto. Or on the access road, as Alec Martinez is spinning. Oh, he's had a mechanical or technical failure, and oh, Jeremy Miller right into him. That is disaster for Alec Martinez, playoff driver coming into this race. And apologies if my microphone is cutting out. Let me see if I can make some adjustments here. Having a few issues with this. Hopefully, see if that's a little bit better. How about this? That might be a bit more consistent for us. A couple filters removed. And apologies for that. Don't know exactly what was going on right there, but Alec Martinez with big problems early on in this race. He's got rear end damage, and Jeremy Miller is going to be in big trouble. I think he's got nose damage. As those two came together, not a good way to start this race for the two playoff drivers who are not too far from the cut line. Maiato gets us going. Green flag back in the air after a really crazy opening few laps. And Maiato will lead them down into turn number 1. The top four have gone single file, side by side now. It was for a moment between Jeremy Miller and Zach Carr. You'll probably see that 30 start to go the wrong direction. You do not want nose damage on these 550 horsepower package cars. And he is really going to have to wheel that thing to keep it up to pace with everyone else. As Seth Hatchell now looks down to the inside. Down the back straightaway they go. Side by side, Samard right there in the 8's wake. And Anthony Pelican, a race winner this season, up there on the high side. He's going to look to try and follow Jeremy Miller, but 30 car going the wrong direction, as I suspected he would. As they're all spread out now. You see Bradley Wilson down there. You're going to take it 3 wide with Jeremiah Vincent and also the 21 of Alex Pelican, the 51, trying to make up ground early. You see Alec Martinez back here trying to get back to the front with that rear end damage. He'll look down low on the 9 car. He'll dive down into turn 1. Jeremiah cuts him right off. Alec will have to settle in for the moment right here. Up at the front though, Maiato leading the way over AJ Stravato. The field works down the backstretch once again. They're working towards lap number 50 tonight for stage number 1. Keith Maiato, the all-time stage wins leader, going to try and win another one. He won last night's race in the Xfinity Series. 3 in a row over there, actually sweeping round 1 of the playoffs. Setting himself up nicely to try and advance to the championship 4 in that series, and trying to do the same. He can get another victory here tonight. Already 3 on this season. He's got a challenger behind him though, AJ Stravato. That light rear end damage not affecting him at the moment, at least on the short run, but that can come to bite you on the long run. As they are going to race for it down into turn 1. Stravato not able to get to the inside of the left rear quarter panel. Seth Hatchell marching forward. He's up 4 positions already. Maybe has a stage win in mind for an early goal in this race, but I'd expect there to be a bit of fuel strategy and pit strategy here. They only have 4 sets of tires additionally. Look at that run from Anthony Pelican. He's going to go 3 wide with Chris Samard and Jeremy Miller. Got Bradley Wilson up there on the high side as well, making good time. Here comes Alec Martinez trying to charge back. The 51 tried to peek to the middle, but there are cars there, and he has to settle in line on the high side. Anthony Pelican getting freight trained right now after having a great run just a lap and a half ago. Here he goes, might be able to clear Jeremy. Not quite, as the 51 gives the 30 a big shove down the back straight. Sorry, front straight. Now, could be 3 wide out of turn 2. The 51 is there. Alec Martinez is there as they race down towards turn number 3. All happening behind Anthony Pelican. It looks like the 51 of Bradley Wilson, the aggressive moves early on in this race, trying to get stuff done. And a little contact right there. Jeremiah Vincent got into the side of Alex Pelican. Jeremiah comes into this race 5 points below the cut line. Needs to find some of that in this race. And all these guys kind of bunched up right around each other. As the top 3 who have won the most races in this season, stretching away from the field. Zach Carr in 3rd. Fastest in practice. Not the best qualifying lap that we've seen from him. He started all the way back in 7th, if you can believe it. But up to 3rd so far. Out behind him, Ryan Gemmel. Doing a good job hanging up here in the top 5 after starting in that 3rd position. And from what I could tell, it's getting pretty crazy deeper in the field. The Alan Dice and Brandon Pearl side by side. This is just outside the top 20. I think it might have been right in front of them. Yeah, Josiah Vincent and Eric Lambert racing it up here. Garrett Wolfenbarger right in front of them. See the different approaches to these lines around this racetrack. Josiah Vincent a little bit loose out of turn 2. He will clear Garrett Wolfenbarger, and Lambert going to try and do the exact same now, down in 3 and 4. Gets right up alongside. Just can't quite clear him. Wolfenbarger's going to stay on the quarter panel. Here comes Joshua Abbey, Alan Dice. Good battles throughout the field. Single file up front. About the top 15 positions, I think, all the way back, maybe even farther than that. Now side by side, Bradley Wilson trying to make up ground, but now might be losing ground. There goes Jeremiah Vincent to the high side. He will get by the 51 of Wilson. Side by side, Cody Adkins, James Loveland really tight through 1 and 2. So much to watch here, and top 3 still well out in front. Ryan Gemmel within a second of Keith Maiato as well. Those are your top 2, Maiato and Stravato, who have done battle so many times in this series. Top 2 winningest drivers in the Below the Double Yellow Racing League. Stravato with 20 wins, which is twice what Keith has at 10. He just got that 10th win last night. And how he would like to continue to chop away into that all-time record. That Carr, who's making a name for himself in this league this season, regular season champion, leading driver all season long, really. Hanging right with these guys. A bit farther back, Dallas Sullivan, Joshua Abbey changing hands for the 22nd position. It looks like Lane Sulford right here behind them in 24th, and Carr possibly in the wall. That is Joshua Abbey. Look there, he had just drifted too high. He catches the outside wall. Loses a lot of momentum, now back to 23rd. And a couple of these Shenandoah Shine machines sporting different paint schemes tonight. It's a little bit different than what we're used to seeing. And good to see some variety from those guys. They're looking good out there. Dennis Faircloth, Josiah Vincent looks like doing battle back here. And Dennis currently holding on to 16th. That bright neon machine. Bass Pro Shops tracker boats. Chevy Camaro to the inside, can't get alongside out of turn 4. It will go back at it here in 1 and 2. Dennis looks pretty committed to this high line. Was a battle happening up farther. It looks like Reggie Ortega putting some pressure on the back of Chris Samard. Reggie enters this race, as we mentioned, just about 6 points above that cut line. Chris is 8 below the cut line. On opposite ends, Reggie trying to run clean and just get the best finish he can. Chris Simard doing what he can to secure a good run tonight. He's going to need a few more points over, it is Alec Martinez, Anthony Pelican, and right now he is gaining some points on those guys, but it's not going to be quite enough just yet. He'll have to continue to march forward and hope for some misfortune potentially from those two. As James Loveland and Alex Pelican going at it. James had a great run here in the Xfinity cars for this series last season. It really was the car to beat in that race. So we'll see if he's got that same kind of speed, on, especially on the long run, is what James is known for. He is committed to that bottom lane right now and making it work. Look at that drive out of turn number 2. He may just clear the 21. But doesn't pull up in front of him. Now he will. That is for the 11th position. Alec Martinez with that heavy left rear damage. Still hanging on in the top 10. And his target right there in front of him, Anthony Pelican. They're tied entering this race at the cut line. Anthony currently with the advantage, I believe. Actually, no, I believe it would be Alec. With the second place finish last week at Sonoma, Alec would actually hold the tiebreaker. Bradley Wilson continues to fall the wrong direction. Back to 15th. He was up into about 7th or 8th, I believe. And it appears he may have a little bit of right front damage, maybe caught the wall just slightly. Been running up there, committed to it, and we do see that happen here. Battle for 8th, Alec Martinez, Anthony Pelican. This is the one to watch, really, if you're going to watch any cut line battle. These two literally tied entering this race, so whoever finishes in front of the other should be able to advance, assuming no bonus points or anything like that. Towards the front, though, looks like Zach Carr has lost 3rd position and fallen now to Ryan Gemmel. Here comes Seth Hatchell, also moving forward, up 5 positions from where he started. Seth, a race winner earlier this season, trying to build on his championship, try and repeat, but has quite a bit of work to do. He's been one of the most consistent drivers all season, and right now, again, a top 5 run going, trying to work on the championship leader in front of him. Side by side back here, James Loveland, Jeremiah Vincent, and Anthony Pelican. So the 99 starting to go the wrong direction. See that 56, he is just flying right now. Getting checked up behind these two, but you can see he's going to try and make the move to the high side of Jeremiah Vincent. Maybe cut back underneath here on corner exit. The 9 maybe a little bit loose right there. Here comes James trying to make that pass happen down the backstretch for Team Red Speed. The work down low. Jeremiah up high is at the front. Stravato goes by Keith Maiato, and Keith actually bringing it down pit road. So the first taker onto pit lane. And we did have actually a couple hit early on during that first caution break, but Maiato pitting from the lead. Going to bring it in here, and it doesn't appear anybody else joining him. We'll see how quickly the rest of the leaders bring it down. Looks like Stravato going to stay out. Ryan Gemmel will commit early in the cycle. Here comes Chris Simard. So V-Speed Machines with the early take on the pit cycle here. Trying to keep an eye on other drivers bringing in. That appears to be it for the moment. So AJ Servato, your race leader. You see Maiato exiting pit lane. AJ putting a lap on Maiato. Meanwhile, Anthony Pelican able to fend off Jeremiah Vincent and James Loveland. He's got his sights set back on that rabbit out in front. That is Alec Martinez, as Seth Hatchell making his way onto pit road. Alex Pelican also bringing it in right here. Few drivers up there in the top 10, top 15. Working onto pit road. I would expect Stravato and Zach Carr, now that it's been at least a couple laps, they may try and stretch this as far as they can. Maybe save a set of tires. Anthony Pelican will bring it in. James Loveland, he will bring it down pit road. It appears possibly a few more. Zach Smith onto pit road. Oh, and James Loveland completely missing his box there. Actually still getting adjusted. Will cost him a lot of time. AJ Stravato, he'll continue to circulate around the racetrack. Keeping an eye on any other drivers starting to slow up to bring it to pit lane. Not appear any of the top 8 going to bring it down this time. There is Keith Maiato already trying to unlap himself, making up a huge gap. That was probably 5 seconds that he has just made up. Remember, only 15 to go in the stage here. This time by. We currently have 19 on the lead lap. Maiato just unlapping himself will be at the tail end. Ryan Gemmel next in line, currently the lucky dog. Bradley Wilson, he'll bring it on the pit road. We're looking for other takers right now. Bradley Wilson, Brandon Pearl. All the Shenandoah Shine machines will bring it on to pit road. Oh, and overshooting the box there, Brandon Pearl. Change for position, Alec Martinez and Jeremiah Vincent. Maybe Alec trying to stretch it the whole of stage 1 here. There goes Anthony Pelican, who has pit already. Alex Pelican right behind him. So we could see some diverging strategies right here, as that is the speed difference, new tires versus old. I'm still not sure if these leaders can stretch it the rest of the way. But it is AJ Servato, Zach Carr in second, Reggie Ortega third. He gets passed up by the Pelican brothers. Jeremiah Vincent right behind him, and then Alec Martinez, Cody Adkins. Dennis Faircloth moving up to 7th through the cycle right now. Dallas Sullivan right there. Josiah Vincent 9th. Eric Lambert in the 10th position at the moment, but remains to be seen if these cars will have to bring it down or not. Big wiggle from Josiah Vincent as he nearly lost that race car. Took it all the way down to the apron. He may give up a spot here now to Eric Lambert, maybe another to Alan Dice, but obviously in save mode. Maiato up to 16th, about 3/4 of a lap behind AJ Stravato. The 16th position at the moment, but led the opening 29 laps. AJ Stravato has led since that point. don't think Alec Martinez did get to the lead there early on. I thought he might have beat Maiato back to the line, but he has not. So only 2 leaders so far in this one. AJ Stravato staying on the racetrack, less than 10 to go in stage 1. His last lap time of 34.9. Keith Maiato's at 33.3, so nearly 1.6 seconds per lap being gained by Maiato. He's cut that deficit now to 22 seconds. But it won't be enough time for him to get up there unless these guys start running out or really falling off even more. AJ Stravato a 35-second lap. He is well off his original pace. Maiato, though, chopping away now down to 21 seconds. Down around Jeremy Miller, who has not pit yet. Jeremy struggling with the damage on that race car. 16th right now. Last of the drivers to not stop. See if he can stretch it. Oh, there's contact there. Ryan Gemmel and Jeremy Miller. And Gemmel will go sideways on the backstretch. And yellow flag will fly. So we'll see what this does. Could hurt those drivers who've taken tires already. Yellow going to come out. It looked like Gemmel came up out of the corner, and not sure if the 30 got sideways or maybe just the closing rate was too much. Ryan Gemmel down into 1 and 2. Keeps that car as low as he can. Jeremy Miller. And they just get together. Looks like maybe Ryan expected Jeremy to be higher up the track, but get their doors together, and Ryan able to hang on to a really nice save as he locks up the tires there. Able to continue on with only minimal right front damage, but that will add to the damage of the 30 machine. May have just got a break right there. Little extra opportunity to get some damage fixed, get some fresh tires on. Probably not what these leaders necessarily wanted to see, but it could end up helping them in the long run. We'll have to wait and see here. They stay on the racetrack for drivers to bring it in. There are going to be some takers. Looks like Dennis Faircloth will lead the brigade down pit road. Eric Lambert as well. There's Jeremy Miller. He is going to come down and probably fix the damage. We'll see if he takes tires or not. He could save a set. Dennis Faircloth 6 seconds on pit road. Eric Lambert 5.2 in the box. Alan Dice, Dallas Sullivan also brought it down. Keith Maiato, first car on fresh tires. He will be restarting from the 11th position, assuming none of the leaders do bring it in. He has much fresher tires. He will be 1 to 2 seconds a lap faster for these last handful of laps. It could get dicey, but he has nothing to lose. Already locked in from his win 2 weeks ago. We want to give a big shout out to tonight's sponsor, Outlaw Desert Racing. You can learn more about them in the video description. Link in the description down there. They help by providing a service called Adrenaline Therapy. Their goal to help eliminate the 22-a-day veteran suicide through team building, exercises, off-road racing, and really, really cool service that they offer there. Looks like a lot of fun. Definitely a rush if you're an adrenaline junkie. So go check them out, see how you can help and support. Just to learn more about them, you can find their info in the description. But it will be AJ Stravato probably bringing us to the green flag here, assuming these guys all stretch it out on fuel. They're working the apron, they're shutting the engine off, they're letting the pace car drive away. Hear them clutching and coasting, so they are going to be close on fuel. Pace car lights go out. Stravato, Carr, Ortega, Jeremiah Vincent up here. Could he get some bonus points and win this stage? Only the leader, end of lap 50, is going to earn that playoff point. I believe by nature of 3 cars going out and AJ Stravato leading, he is nearly locked in, assuming finish, I think, 25th or higher. He's pretty well locked in at this point. But it could be disastrous still if he runs out of fuel and somehow falls off the lead lap, maybe falls a couple laps down or something like that. Not entirely locked in, but one more car does fall out of this race. I believe he will secure a position in the round of 8. Work out of turn number 4. We'll see how they get going here. Old tires for the top 10. Keith Maiato restarts from the 11th position. He's got the train of V-Speed cars behind him. Green flag back in the air. Good jump there for AJ Stravato as he tries to win the stage. Field works down through 1 and 2. Big run for Zach Carr on the high side, but Reggie Ortega currently holding on to 2nd. What a drive by him tonight, up from 6th. And he's going to try and get down in there, get that playoff point. Coming back to 2 to go in the stage right now. The margin just 2 car lengths between these drivers. And it's going to be 3 wide now farther back. Keith Maiato up to 7th. Going to work to the high side of Cody Adkins. He's got Alec Martinez and Jeremiah Vincent in front of him. He's going to make good use of those fresh tires. Just a few more cars to go. Here he goes to the inside of Zach Carr and weaving his way through traffic. He'll have one more lap next time around. He's already to 3rd, and it could be the matter of a couple more corners. Look at this. Big drive to the high side right there. And the V-Speed machine's coming right with him. Seth Hatchell not far behind. But AJ Stravato, the leader, one more to go. Throws the block on Maiato. Here goes Keith to the inside lane. Seth Hatchell right in the rim out there. And we've got side-by-side nearly contact. 3 wide. Reggie Ortega and AJ Stravato make a little bit of contact right there out of 2. Here goes Alec Martinez, going to try and make it 3 wide, but battle for the stage win. Keith Maiato and Seth Hatchell. Maiato with the advantage. Out of turn 4, he will win yet another stage. Another playoff point to his tally. The V-Speed machines go 1, 2, 3, 4 in stage 1. Stravato hangs on to 5th. If they can make it back around another couple of times under caution. See how much they've already lifted off as the top 4 drive away. Fresh tires working out. They get the track position. They're going to be one less set in the box. Top 4 had taken tires 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th on the old tires. Then Anthony Pelican, 10th position on fresher tires. And Bradley Wilson, he actually only pit 6 laps ago during that yellow flag. Has been on pit road 2 times, so possibly already burned 2 sets. Field works up to the pace car. We're going to go to a commercial break. We will be right back. Back at the racetrack now. Maiato, your stage winner. He'll be restarting, looks like from the 3rd position. Able to win stage number 1. Dominating drive in the beginning of stage 1. Able to work his way through traffic there. In those closing laps, in front of him though, Alan Dice, Dallas Sullivan, who have stayed out after pitting just 10 laps ago. If we can get a quick word in with Reggie Ortega, who's had a pretty strong night. Was battling there for the stage win. Here. Hey Reggie, Adam in the V-Speed booth, you got me?
Gotcha.
Well, Reggie, another strong performance so far in this race, and you were battling for the stage win right there. How intense was that with the cars on those old tires and the fresh tires and all of that going on?
Well, it definitely was intense with the old tires, but what was more intense was we were really close on fuel. I actually ran out in pit road, so it was a lot of fun, but with those new tires that we couldn't do anything.
Yeah, you guys were sitting ducks out there, but we were wondering how close it was going to be on fuel. If that caution had not come out, do you think you were going to be able to stretch it the rest of the distance there?
No, definitely not. I was actually planning on pitting within like the next few laps before the caution came out. So, yeah, that caution was great.
Yeah, perfect timing, and you're able to stay on the racetrack. You got an extra set of tires to those guys in front of you, and be starting here in the top 10. So, looking good out there. Good luck here in stage 2.
Thanks, sir.
All right, Reggie Ortega. We're trying to find his way into round of 8, enters tonight's race 6 points above top line. If you haven't already, cheer on your favorite driver. Who do you think's going to win here in stage number 2? Or win at the end of the race? This will take us to the end. Just under 100 laps in tonight's race left to go. If you're enjoying tonight's broadcast, consider hitting that subscribe button. Follow us on our social media platforms. You can find those on the YouTube channel here. Let's take a look at some of the other sponsors down below in the video description. Pace Car making the left-hand turn onto pit road. Green flag back in the air for Dallas Sullivan now. Alan Dice on the high side doesn't get rolling all that well. And now Maiato with a shot to take over second into turn number 1. But Dallas Sullivan leads. They work through the first set of corners here. Alec Martinez, bold move to the bottom of the racetrack. We've got 2-3 wide deeper in this field. Bradley Wilson once again pushing the issue. He'll go to the inside of Jeremiah Vincent and Alex Pelican. And right now, the 51 losing out to both of them. He'll fall to 13th, but it is far from over, farther up front. Alan Dice, the older tires, Dallas Sullivan as well. That Carr trapped down low, bottom of 3 wide, not where you want to be. Seth Hatchell right in the middle, not where you want to be. And they make it work somehow, still 3 wide. Dallas hanging tough on that high side. Really good job for that set of corners, but you can see just not going to be able to win out with that disadvantage. He will fall back to those two now, side by side with Reggie Ortega. Chris Samard, Anthony Pelican. Drivers fighting to advance. They're back here at the bottom of the top 10. And tight battling here. Jeremiah Vincent as well. Bradley Wilson. Bradley going to go down to the bottom again, and he is going to try and make it 3 wide, but 9 Carr shuts the door. Alex Pelican going to go to the middle. Bradley Wilson, big wiggle right there. Slides up in front of Cody Adkins, who has to hit the brakes. They live to race on, but this battle not over back here. Jeremy Miller now with a repaired race car. Going to hold really tight to the 17's quarter panel through 1 and 2. Angelo Ronas not been able to advance very much. He started 18th, running in 16th. and currently fighting for his life in the playoffs. Entered this race just 4 points above the cut line and not having the race he needs to advance, but we'll see if he can find his way forward later on in this race. Maiato still leading over Ryan Gebel now, and Alec Martinez to third. Top 7 or 8 under a blanket side by side. Samard and Anthony Pelican really tight out of turn number 4 right there. Well, you got 3 wide farther back. That is Josiah Vincent, Alan Dice, Jeremy Miller. Now Sullivan, big wiggle right there. He's going to slide up right in front of Jeremy Miller, and he's going to go for a big slide out of turn 2. Locks it down. Yellow flies. Good save by the 46. Who was already losing that race car in the middle of the corner. Gets a little tap from the 30 machine of Jeremy Miller, but no fault of the 30 really. Nowhere to go in that deal. Let's go take a look. You knew it was going to be tricky. They went in there nearly 3 wide. The 46 just overcooking it and slides up the track, trying to correct. And good job by everyone else to not get into him. He locks it down, exactly what you're supposed to do. Gets it pointed in the right direction. He'll fall to the back, but at least he's got a car to fall there to. Fall there in. And be able to continue on. Just a little tap from the 30 was all it took, as he was basically spinning out as is. AC Akers enter onto pit road as the leaders work on by. Hard the first one to bring it in. See if he's just topping up on fuel. Handful of others, a couple Shenandoah Shine machines. Jeremy Miller also brings it down. Surprisingly, Dallas Sullivan going to stay out after locking the tires up like that. Get a quick chat in with Jeremiah Vincent. Having a good solid night here in the top 10. Jeremiah Vincent, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got me?
Yeah.
Well, Jeremiah, you are one of the drivers fighting for a spot in the round of 8. Enter this race below the cut line, having a good solid top 10. How's the car feeling for you here?
Surprisingly, it's rotating a lot better than what it was in practice. I got a little worried in practice. It was a little too snug to my liking.
Yeah, we've seen a few guys sliding around out there, 2, 3 wide. How intense is it out there right now? Can you feel the pressure of the elimination race tonight?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of puckering going on. it's pretty hairy on these restarts, guys. Because tires are so cold and slippery. We're sliding around, hold on his wheel. Like the turn 1, 2, a lot of us are dirt tracking it.
Yeah, we saw issues there on lap 1 with drivers farther in the pack, and even up front. I think AJ lost a little handle on the race car in turn 1, but exciting stuff for sure. We'll let you get back to it here, but good run so far, and good luck rest of the way.
All right, thank you, Adam.
Right, that was Jeremiah Vincent running in the top 10. Brother just a couple positions back, Josiah Vincent. Made a select few starts this season. Good to see him out here once again tonight. With 9 starts coming into tonight's race, so definitely not a full-time driver this season. I think he had a work conflict, but he was a playoff driver and actually fought for the championship at this track 2 seasons ago here in the below the Double Yellow Cup Series, and ended up, I believe, finishing second in the standings. Jeremiah as well. Yeah, both the Vincent brothers And then AJ Stravato, who went on to be champion, and Nick Starling also advanced into that final 4. Nick not in the race tonight. But he'll be making starts here later on. Wrap up this. Keith Maiato out in front. He has led the most laps here so far. He'll have mates right here behind him. Ryan Gemmel, Seth Hatchell, Alec Martinez. He'll be kind of boxed in down there in that inside lane. Reggie Ortega, Zach Carr behind them. Alex Pelican, Anthony Pelican, Bradley Wilson, who has somehow been able to power back up into the top 10. Yellow flag heat cycle here might just help him out. Jeremiah Vincent also there in the top 10. Will be Maiato getting us going, waiting for that pace car to make the hard left-hand turn. Back underway from Homestead Miami Speedway. There it is, 36 off and away. Maiato, great drive out of turn 4. He'll have a multiple car length advantage over his 2 teammates, racing it up for second. Here's Alec Martinez trying to take third. Seth Hatchell, and he will do so out of turn number 2. Somehow still plenty of speed in that race car, at least on the short run. Left rear damage might come back to bite him later in this race. After a technical issue there early on. How about Bradley Wilson again? Aggressive, peeking down to the inside right there. Seen him run all the way at the top. We've seen him run all the way at the bottom. So he's not loyal to any one line around this racetrack. Trying to make the fastest laps he can. Now look at some drivers farther back that perhaps took tires in this run. Or on that yellow flag, Jeremy Miller, Chris Simard, a handful of others. Oh no! The 3 of Eric Lambert in the wall collects Chris Simard out of nowhere. No yellow flag for that. Simard done. After that, he tows it straight away. So does Eric Lambert. What happened right there just as we were watching them? Just hits the wall all by himself. Chris Simard, who was fighting to make it to the next round, needed a really great run. He'll be eliminated after that. Eric Lambert parking it there, taking it to pit lane now. They will both be out of this race. Seemingly out of nowhere. That was a wreck that did not expect, but definitely playoff implications for Chris Simard. Exactly what he did not need, and be the end of the run for the 37 machine, who's had a really strong season, not had the luck, especially over the last dozen or so races. He has just had some of the worst luck imaginable. Just wrong place, wrong time, or right time, wrong place. Battling back here, Anthony Pelican and Zach Carr, the 27 and the 99. Look at this. They are slicing and dicing farther back. AJ Stravato works to the inside now of Cody Adkins. I think AJ might have run out of fuel on pit lane earlier on. That cost him a lot of track position. Behind him, Jeremy Miller. Got potentially fresh tires. At least a little damage repaired. Battling hard right here, 57 to 30, or the 81 to 30. Remember, Allen on slightly older tires than these guys around him. Still hanging on up here inside the top 15. He might be put in a dangerous spot here. Up the racetrack he goes, 3 wide now with Cody Adkins and AJ Stravato. Down into turn 1, they'll still be 3 wide. And Cody backs out of it, gets a tap from the 30. And he saves it. Jeremy Miller just knocked him right out of the way. And Alan Dice struggling for grip right there out of turn 2. There is nowhere safe on this racetrack. They are going at it everywhere. Early contact right there between Zach Carr and Anthony Pelican. Zach had to check up, slots in line into the 6th position. Anthony up to 5th. Really strong run for him. Zach will take a peek down low there, gets that clean air to the nose. So important at these 1.5 mile racetracks. Anthony gonna go to the second groove right here. They will be side by side for 5th out of turn number 4. Still side by side, and there's Bradley Wilson right in the mix, doing what he has to do, trying to drive up to the front. Nearly collects the 21 right there, and we nearly had another incident with Jeremy Miller, and that was Angelo Ronas. I think he just cleared himself in front of the 17. He is following AJ Stravato. They were working through the field. Cody Adkins, James Loveland, Angelo Ronas 3 wide now. This is some exciting racing happening right now. They are all bunched up, still bunched up. Many laps into this run. This is now approaching 15 laps into the run, and you cannot put a piece of paper between some of these race cars. Meanwhile, Keith Maiato now 4/10 out in front, and continuing to stretch away from Alec Martinez, who's probably in conservation mode and just trying to get everything he can, doing everything he can to hold off these B-Speed machines behind him. Is Ryan Gemmel. Good run in the center of the corner right there. We'll see if he can make a move down into turn number 3. He will peak low, but just not enough runway for him to get alongside. AJ Stravato continues his march back towards the top 5 into 7th, but Alex Pelican with the push from Bradley Wilson will go back around. Now the 21 deep into the corner. He will go way up the hill. Stravato committed to the inside right there. Going to pull right alongside. Could get interesting right here. The 51 down low. Jeremy Miller, who's been as aggressive as anyone in this race. Pull right up behind the 51. He'll pull a little slide job on the 81. Let's not forget, just a few laps ago, they made contact. Cody Adkins got knocked out of the way. Loveland right here in the mix as well. I'm sure Cody not real happy with that pink machine in front of him. Jeremiah Vincent back to 15th right now. He's gone the wrong direction on this run, perhaps saving some fuel, maybe saving some tires. Right now racing with Garrett Wolfenbarger and Dennis Faircloth. Alan Dice, Angelo Ronas. Messiah Vincent back here as well. All kinds of battles all over the racetrack. Zach Carr, Anthony Pelican racing it up. There goes Pelican. Loses a spot to Zach Carr. And Stravato still trying to do something. He is making ground, but taking a lot more effort than I think he probably expected. Almost back up in the mix here. Reggie Ortega giving a push there to Alex Pelican. They'll push back past him. Now AJ taking a short route through the corner. He'll cut back underneath and side by side with Alex Pelican again. We'll see Reggie now switches down low. He'll give a bump draft to the 33. A little weaving going on right there from Reggie. That'll push Stravato right on past. Jeremy Miller entering the top 10. Here comes James Loveland to make a move on Cody Adkins out of turn number 4. He'll dive down to the inside. Cody going to try and pinch him down a little bit. Will hold him back there. Slows him up out of turn 2. James not going to try and pull any side draft on him. Cody able to get back around for the moment. When that's deep in the corner there for Loveland, but he's able to keep it up to speed and still alongside Cody Adkins out of turn 4. Cody's out in front of him, single file for the most part, but Stravato clearing Anthony Pelican. Now Reggie Ortega able to get around the 21 of Alex Pelican. Loveland still diving it deep into these corners, committed to the inside lane. Might have had something happen back here. 3 wide, Wolfenbarger, Shia Vincent, and Dennis Faircloth. Wolfenbarger loses out. Cody Adkins, James Loveland still side by side. This is 11th and 12th. And even diving it in that deep into these corners, that 56 still looking really good. 51. Bradley Wilson, he's been able to hang on a bit better on this run in the 13th position. He is in a win or go home situation. Catches the apron right there. Here comes Jeremiah Vincent to his outside. It is so tight between the 81 and the 56. They are all over each other. It has been like this for lap after lap. And no advantage for either driver. I think that something has to give at some point, but they're doing an amazing job. Very tight there out of turn 2. Cody a little loose on the exit. And Jeremiah Vincent nowhere to go. He's going to try and find a way around, maybe to the 3rd lane. Can't make that work. Bradley Wilson, he's in the picture now, side by side, 2 rows deep. No advantage anywhere for either one of these two drivers. It has been very equal in both approaches to taking these corners. There goes Bradley Wilson up the racetrack, nearly catches the wall, has to back way out of it. Out in front though, Maiato had about a half second over Alec Martinez, and that has shrunken now to just over 2/10, 18. Finding some momentum as this run goes on. It's possible the left rear damage could be affecting his downforce in a way that Carr might rotate a bit better, or maybe is wearing tires a little differently than everyone else. Past halfway in this race has been all Keith Maiato out in front. 63 of 87 laps led, now 64. Martinez has not found the front yet, but how he would like to get that bonus point. Enters this race tied at the cut line with Anthony Pelican. One of their contenders, and Chris Samard out of this race. Not going to be a factor. That's one less driver to worry about for 2 of those guys around the cut line. And the top 6. Actually, let's find all of the top 8 except for Ryan Gemmel, our playoff drivers. Ryan running in 3rd. Going playoff speed, just barely missed it for missing a race late in the regular season. That eliminated him. Essentially, he was in a must-win situation going into the last race. Just missed out. Very consistent, very strong this season. One of the highest average finishes in this series. 2 poles also, 3 top 5s. A couple of runner-up finishes so far this season. He's looking for a victory. He hasn't gone to victory lane in a season and a half, or almost 2 seasons now. Having one of his better runs right now in that 3rd position. Teammate Seth Hatchell behind him. Running 4th, Zach Carr in 5th. AJ Stravato up to 6th after falling back in this race. Anthony Pelican 7th. It's going to be difficult for him. In a good spot on the racetrack, but the guy he's tied with at the cut line is running 2nd and has just outperformed him tonight. Battle to get in the top 10. James Loveland, he's now switched to the high side. Jeremy Miller down low. Jeremy not secure in this playoff battle. He comes in just 7 points above the cut line and currently running in the 11th position. See if the move on the 81 comes back to bite him at any point here in the next few laps. I think Cody's probably forgotten about it at this point. Got other things to worry about. Jeremiah Vincent right there underneath him, nearly getting into the left rear. He'll slot back in line into 12th. Alan Dice, Bradley Wilson. Bradley starting to go the wrong direction again. Alan starting to go the right direction late in this run. On 10-lap older tires than these guys around him. So 57 doing a good job on his strategy. 14th position. How about Dennis Faircloth up there by that outside wall? He is so committed to that lane. He's run that at racetracks where that is not the way around, but look at that run right there. Huge drive off turn 2. He should be able to clear the 51 down on this end of the racetrack, and for the moment he will. Bradley, though, going to switch it up. He'll run the wall. Dennis still should be able to slide up in front of him, and he will do just that. Now Bradley gives him a big shot in the back. Really good side-by-side racing back here. Everybody else up in front of them pretty well single file. Step for right here, Hatchell and Zach Carr. They're side-by-side. This is 4th position. Really intense racing all night long. Oh, and there's a little contact right there, I think, between the 27 and the 8. They'll dive down into turn number 4. Still really tight. Seth holding right along the door of Zach Carr. Zach back in the throttle right there. Getting help from the 33. Seth maybe getting a little pull from those cars up in the high side. Through 1 and 2, the 27 with a small advantage for the moment. Seth pulls him back, though. A little side draft on the exit of the corner. Really no choice right there. The 27 came right up alongside now. Stravato switches lanes. Zach just trying to drive up from the middle of the corner. They're going to make a little contact. That'll check up Zach Carr big time. It'll allow Stravato to make the pass right here. Stravato will take over 5th spot for the moment. He'll get a push from the 27 now, and we'll see if that combination works for them to get past the 8 machine. No luck so far. Hatchell holding down that 4th position. And here comes Zach Carr. He's going to commit early to the pit cycle. Sliding towards pit road. Locks him up. He will be the first one onto pit road. Dennis Faircloth had a moment right there, I believe, out of turn number 4. They are really going at it here. This could not, that could end badly. Dennis almost tries to clear himself. Bradley Wilson, big run to the high side. Now 3 wide with Alan Dice down low. when the rest of the leaders bring it in. I would expect possibly Alan Dice and Dallas Sullivan. Yep, here comes Alan right now. Good job getting on the pit road right there. That car on the access road on the exit of pit lane. Like Angelo Ronas, he'll bring it down. Not having a good race here. 17. Do something to find his way forward. Here comes Dallas Sullivan on pit road. He gets to the attention of his crew. Maiato now at 6/10 over Alec Martinez. Starting to pull away. That Clean Air working wonders late in this run. AJ Stravato topped up on fuel in the last yellow flag. He's got a couple more laps, I believe, than the rest of these guys that he can go. Are approaching that window, though, where they will have to pit. Bradley Wilson's going to catch the wall there. He's got more right side damage now, but still able to keep the power down. We'll give a big shot to the 9 machine of Jeremiah Vincent. Push him down into turn number 1. More takers to pit road. Still just a handful have brought it in. Watch the leaders here. Maiato almost looked like he was going to come down that time. He was a bit slow out of turn 4. So keep in mind, no takers in the top 15. How about all this battling back here? Zach Smith having a good race up in 13th right now. Hit about 10 laps later than most of these guys around him. And the one car, maybe with slightly fresher tires, doing a good job taking advantage of those. Getting up here in the top 15. Maiato now going to bring it to pit lane, so he'll give up the lead. Now Alec Martinez is going to earn a bonus point for leading. Going to be a very significant point as he was tied with Anthony Pelican. Anthony here in 5th. Comes down to one spot on the racetrack. Alec has the tiebreaker from last week, finished 2nd in that race. So if neither of these guys win tonight and somehow tie on points, Alec Martinez would have that tiebreaker. But he's going to come to pit road really late on the brakes there. Anthony Pelican as well. Cody Adkins, he'll bring it in. James Loveland also down to service his race car. Bradley Wilson made it on the pit road. Maiato is already back in turn number 3, 17th position. He's lost about 5 seconds now to that car, and there's AJ Stravato, who is the race leader. Remember, he can go a few more laps than the rest of these guys, so this next run, not going to be a problem at all. He'll be able to stretch fuel without any issue. He'll have fresher tires than everybody else around him. Ryan Gemmel has brought it in. Seth Hatchell, Reggie Ortega, Lane Sulford, you see there, Jeremiah Vincent, Alex Pelican, and most of the rest of the field. Only 2 drivers are still on the racetrack. That is AJ Stravato, who's going to bring it in this time. Really hot on the brakes. Jeremy Miller, he's just working through 3 and 4. He'll stay on the racetrack. Again, every bonus point going to be very important. He may just lead at the line right here. And no, AJ leads that lap. So Jeremy, he'll have to at least work around one more time to lead that. Get that bonus point. There's Cody Adkins right there behind him. That car working past. AJ Stravato still in his pit box. That's the difference hitting earlier versus later. He's going to be well behind the leaders, but big tire advantage over Zach Carr, who's got 8 laps on his tires already. 4.2 seconds over Keith Maiato. Jeremy Miller still on the racetrack, so he will lead a lap. He can probably go about 6 more laps on this current tank of fuel, so he's going to commit to the long strategy here, but looks like he might be bringing in. Nope. Yes, he will. Oh, and really locked up the brakes right there, nearly went around. That Carr should take over the top spot. His advantage over Keith Maiato, 3.7 seconds. Maiato, 5-lap fresher tires. We'll see if he can make that gap up. Alec Martinez, another 2.4 back from Maiato. He's got 1-lap fresher tires than Keith does. And Gemmel, 2-lap fresher than Alec. In 4th position, so Gemmel, he could have a good shot to get up there and at least battle for this win. Pelican 5th, Seth Hatchell 6th, James Loveland 7th, AJ Servato 8th, Alan Dice 9th, and Alex Pelican running in 10th. Phil Ronas committed to pitting early in this run. He is in that 11th spot. Has not been his night. Trying to make the most of it. Has not had the speed here, and trying to stay out of trouble, I think, has cost him an opportunity to maybe race for a win. We'll keep an eye on things. The whole field has pitted already, so 40 laps to go next time. There is Zach Carr, and there is Keith Maiato. The gap not shrinking all that much. Keith has that double zero out in front of him that could be affecting the air. As Brandon Pearl, the only car 1 lap down. Everybody else out of the race or on the lead lap. Double zero really struggling right now with that race car. Maybe he took... Oh, he did take 4 tires, but got some damage on the right side, and I just don't think he's had the handle of this thing tonight. He is really sliding that car through the center. As Maiato continues to chip away, last time by, though, only 0.02 faster. This time by, however, 0.3 faster. Gap back to Alec Martinez, though. That's shrunk into 1.4 seconds behind Maiato, so that could become a battle before Keith even gets to Zach Carr, and that's probably what Zach is hoping for. Long ways yet to race. And Reggie Ortega in 10th position. Fresher tires than nearly everyone in front of him. Had a solid race going so far. Alan Dice up here in the 11th position. He's got a little older tires than the guys around him. Bradley Wilson up to 12. It's going to be difficult to advance at this point. He is going to have to win with the amount of exits from this race we've already had. Not enough points in it for anyone to fall out. Gonna race on by Alan Dice right here for the 11th position. Bradley's had a good race, but not a great race. Battle right now, 4-6. Seth Hatchell, AJ Servato, these two, the 2 former champions of this series. They will race each other as hard as they can, but they often race very, very clean. Seth not really the most aggressive driver usually. AJ a bit more aggressive. And they often end up trading blows here and there. And they've both had their their own amount of success in the league. Obviously, both champions of the Cup Series, many-time winners in both series, the Xfinity cars and the Cup cars. Now Stravato to the inside of Anthony Pelican, and Anthony just hoping probably for a yellow flag to get him back in the mix. This is not where he needs to be. He is not necessarily in position to advance right here. However, with Angelo Ronas not having a great race and Jeremy Miller also all the way back here in 19th, Angelo in 14th, there is still potential for Anthony to advance. He is only a few points behind Angelo and Jeremy. It is going to come down to the wire. It could very well come down to the last lap of this race to figure out who's advancing into the next round. We'll have to wait for the points to be tallied up. Right now, Zach Carr with the lead has an advantage over Keith Maiato by 1.9 seconds. Alec Martinez has reeled in the 36. Now just about a half second behind him. Alec, after all his issues here tonight, the technical problem early on, the damage having to come from the rear, up to third and one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. That car at 34.25, Maiato with 33.95, Alec Martinez at 33.85. See what they are at the line this time. That car 34.31, Maiato 33.92. They continue to really chop away into this race lead. Alec Martinez 33.79. Second fastest car on the racetrack. Behind James Loveland, who made his way to 7th, and like I expect, he was good on this long run, so could end up with the top 5. Now a lap car between these two, that could give a little buffer for a moment for Maiato. That is not going to be the case. Still just a car length and a half now, 2 as they work out of turn 2. And the gap now under 1 second up to the race leader, Zach Carr. And Zach probably hoping for a yellow flag. And there's debris on the track. Throwing out water bottles and stuff like that. Is losing this lead pretty quickly now. You can see it shrinking lap after lap. Now 4/10 slower than the cars behind him. Top 8 all within 5 seconds of the leader, so it is pretty competitive up here in front of this pack. And you got Alex Pelican 7.5, just in front of Reggie Ortega. Those two on equal tires. Where Reggie's at right here, he is a solid position to advance. So again, no guarantee on anything. You're just 1 point behind Jeremy Miller, and right now many positions in front of Jeremy, so that should be enough to get him in. Real driver on the bubble is going to be Anthony Pelican, who's fallen to 8th at this point. Got his brother behind him, though, who might cut him some slack, might be able to help him out. Alex would be a key factor, but there goes Reggie Ortega. Right on around him. Out in front, too, the battle heating up for the race lead. Zach Carr, Keith Maiato. And go back at it here. Just a car length separating these two, who have won 9 of the 15 races run this season. And Alec Martinez also a race winner, so among these three, 10 of the 15 wins. And it looks like Keith may take a dive down in 1 and 2. It's going to be hard to make this pass, though, late or 20-plus laps into the run. Keith can't get it to stick, and Alec Martinez take advantage of that. Will fall back to side by side with the 18. It's all going to be about how you make this pass. And Alec be able to hold down Keith for the moment. And he's going to take it 3 wide on the front stretch. 3 wide for the race lead. Martinez deep into the corner there. Maiato has to let off of it. They're really close out of turn 2. Nearly door to door. And still 3 wide for the lead. This is allowing Ryan Gemmel to close in. Ryan with fresher tires. Could this be the breakthrough race for Ryan Gemmel? Could he play spoiler? As the 18 really holding down the 36 right here. And there's some contact. The 36 of Maiato gets into the left rear of Alec Martinez. They were wiggling on the straight somehow. That car still hanging on to this race lead. He's running that high lane. Able to hold these guys off. Still 3 wide for the top spot. It's an intense up here, door to door. Alec Martinez just trying to get that little advantage. Dives it in deeper. Has to check up. And then the 36 has to check up. And somehow they are still 3 wide. That car with the run on the high side, though. He's going to clear. Here comes Ryan Gemmel into the mix. Now under half a second back. Under 30 laps to go. It's still 3 wide for the lead. Nearly contact between Maiato and Alec Martinez. Alec very aggressive, pinching down the 36. And now it goes back single file as Zach Carr still hanging on. Doing everything he can to keep these drivers behind him. Here comes Ryan Gemmel, though, working the high lane. He may just get to the outside of his teammate. Those fresher tires paying dividends at this point in the run. He is 1 to 2/10 of a second per lap faster, but he's going to struggle the same way these guys have to try and complete that pass. But how about this? Completing the pass on his teammate for third, Ryan Gemmel. He's run right up here in the top 3 all race long. Going to be able to clear. Now set his sights on the top 2. This is an incredible battle for the race lead. And somehow, some way, Zach Carr still hanging on to the top spot, even on the older tires. And Gemmel looks down low. Alec Martinez throws the block. A heavy block down there into turn number 1. Gemmel has to check up. Here comes Maiato with the run. Lane Sulfridge, the lap machine, also going to get in on the action here. He is 2 laps down. He just came in 3 laps ago. Got brand new tires, and he is going to be much faster than these cars in front of him. And that will show right here. He's going to go to the high side and going to make it 3 wide. Ryan Gemmel gets into him. Nowhere to go, and that'll send the 71 up into the barrier. Sulfridge around into the wall. And yellow flag will fly as he will take it behind the wall. It was inevitable with how hard everything was, how hard the racing was up at the front. The 71 of Lane Sulfridge, with those fresh tires, get thrown in the mix right in the middle of the action. You would expect possibly the drivers up here not expecting that, as Gemmel, got to the high side, and at this point in the corner, there's not really much you can do to turn down, and it was on from there. Lane Sulfridge paying the ultimate price, and he gets heavy damage right there. Will go behind the wall if he gets back out here, but already 3 laps down. 23rd position. The race leader now, Zach Carr. He'll bring him down pit lane, and this will change everything. This could have serious playoff implications for drivers like Alec Martinez. As Zach Carr, he has to check up. Oh, in contact with Ryan Gemmel. And it goes from bad to worse for Gemmel and Zach Carr. And will this hand the race lead to Alec Martinez? Alec was running in the inside lane down pit road. I know the admins are not big fans of that. Here we go. Maiato cannot beat the 18 off of pit road. And Gemmel now with damage, trying to race the 33. Looks like he could have been in the hunt for this one. That is just probably not going to be the case at this point. Heavy nose damage after getting into the 27 of Zach Carr, and Zach still sitting on pit road. He'll roll off here in the 17th position. Let's go back and take a look at coming into the box here. See, the 18 being underneath him here, Zach had to check up because Alec was inside, and then Gemmel trying to make the move into his box. And Zach gets knocked out of the way. Nothing, no fault of anyone, really. Just kind of a bad situation caused by the 18 right there. And that car paying a big price right there as well. Luckily, he is going to be advancing no matter what. It has just gotten very messy. Bad situation for Angelo Ronis, who had just made a pit stop. He will be a wave around car. Luckily, he can take the wave around, but plenty of position for a driver who has been so consistently a top 10, top 15 driver. Not the night that he needed here to secure his way into the next round of 8. If he make up some positions late in this race, he does have one extra set of tires, I believe. Whereas many of these drivers have taken their 4th and final set. Alec Martinez still should have one set remaining. The admins are pretty strict on pit lane situation there, being stuck in the right lane. No matter how slow the car is in front of you, I think they say you have to stay in that outside lane under yellow flag pit stops. Green flag, it's, you know, boys have at it, you can do whatever you want. But under yellow flag, they like that organization, and I know that definitely gave an advantage to the 18 right there. I think they may down on what happened right there. We'll have to find out if there's any penalty from something like that. But right now, Alec Martinez will have control of this race. For the first time tonight, he's been to find himself in control of the restart. He does have the left rear damage, which could act as a parachute once he gets out in clean air. Tough to say. Pace car gonna make the hard left-hand turn. There we go, green flag back in the air. Good jump for the 18 of Alec Martinez. He'll be out in front, clean out in front for the lead as Maiato dives it down into turn 1. We may have some contact farther back. Yellow flag does fly. That's the 1 of Zach Smith. And the 27 of Zach Carr involved in this. So from the race lead, or I guess from the penthouse to the outhouse, right? That's the saying. 27 machine finding himself involved in this one. Jeremy Miller also getting a piece of that. Go. The overhead camera here. That car right here. Zach Smith, 2 cars in front of him, gets loose, gets tagged by the 51 Bradley Wilson. The 30 gets a piece. The 27 goes around off the outside wall. Big contact there. Yeah, the 1 just gets back in, gets light. Nothing that Jeremy Miller or Bradley Wilson can really do in that situation. Car around you or right in front of you goes around and just going to add more damage to the left front of Jeremy Miller, who's not had a very successful race tonight. Unfortunate for all of those involved right there. That's going to, I think, really put them out of contention to win entirely, as Alec Martinez got away nicely, but Maiato looked like he was going to get a run out of turn 2. That will bear 18 for just a few more laps, if he can do it again. A quick recap of this race: 6 cautions, 10 lead changes. Right now, it is Alec Martinez. The lead started 4th. He's led 6 laps here. Maiato's led 78 after starting second. Starting first. He is running in second. AJ Servato started second, running in third. 22 laps led. Ryan Gemmel has led 1 lap. Started third, running in 4th. Seth Hatchell started 10th, running in top 5 and 5th. Pelican started 8th, running 6th. James Loveland started 26th. I don't even think he took a lap time and running in 7th position. But watch out for this 56. He could be a factor in this race before it's all said and done. Alex Pelican, or rather Reggie Ortega, running in the 8th position after starting 6th. Alex Pelican started 11th, running in 9th. Jeremiah Vincent started 12th, running in 10th. Woody Adkins started 16th, running 11th. Garrett Wolfenbarger started 19th, running in 12th right now. Jeremy Miller started 5th. He's led 2 laps, running in 13th after being collected in a couple of things here tonight. Bradley Wilson right where he started in 14th. Alan Dice up 12 positions from 27th to 15th. Josiah Vincent up 6 spots into 16th. Angelo Ronis 17th. Drivers who trying to advance on points, and a bit of a break for him right here. Did bring it down pit 10 laps ago, but an extra set he looks to be saving. Dallas Sullivan started 23rd. He's led 3 laps, running an 8th. Faircloth running 19th after starting in the top 15. That Carr, who started 7th, running 20th. Pit lane right now getting damage repaired, has led 23 laps tonight. Brandon Pearl 1 lap down. The only car, well, actually that is not one of 2 cars 1 lap down. Zach Smith also now 1 lap down, now goes 2. Maybe taking it behind the wall. Lane Sulfridge out of this race. 23rd, 24th, Joshua Abbey. 25th, Eric Lambert. 26th, Chris Samard. 27th, Jordan Shepler. 28th, Timmy Emanuele. Rounding out the field tonight, 29 drivers, Robert Gilmore. Alec Martinez, your race leader. He'll have control. And 1 more restart will be coming to green with 12 to go. Who do you think is going to take the checkered flag? Is it going to be Maiato? Travato? Can Ryan Gemmel, even with now a bit of added damage to the front of that race car, can he get up there and have an opportunity to win this thing? What about Seth Hatchell, Anthony Pelican, James Loveland? Could be any of those drivers. 4 laps. Find out. Ace Car will be making that hard left-hand turn in just a moment. Outlaw Desert Racing 225. Green flag back in the air. Good jump once again for Alec Martinez. Better jump this time for AJ Stravato. He will be to the inside of Keith Maiato. Should give AJ a good shot out of turn number 2. Side by side for second place. They're going at it farther back. Alec Martinez trying to win in advance. He'll get a shove from Maiato down into turn 1. AJ Stravato right by the white line. He'll get to the inside now, battling for the race lead out of turn 4. At the stripe, it's Martinez, but here comes Stravato. Sends it into turn number 1. And right along the door of Alec Martinez, and the 33 gets loose. Here comes Hatchell. Seth Hatchell to the inside, going to try and work by the 33 of Stravato for second. This is exactly what Alec wants to see. these guys racing in his mirror. And Anthony Pelican, he's got to get up there and battle for every point he can, running in 5th right now. It's going to come down to the wire here. Stravato secures 2nd over Seth Hatchell. He'll set his sights on the race leader, Alec Martinez. Gap just about 2 or 3 car lengths. They start weaving down the backstretch, trying to collect the draft. Maiato works to the inside now of his teammate, sends it in deep to turn 3, right by the apron. Has to check up just a bit. That will cost him, as Seth Hatchell able to work back around the high side. Alec Martinez doing what he needs to do. 9 laps remaining in this race. Side by side farther back, Maiato and Anthony Pelican. That's for 4th. Anthony trying to get by Keith with nothing to lose or gain in this race, just trying to get another consistent finish. Gonna get crossed over by the 22 of Reggie Ortega, who's had a real resurgence here late in this. AJ Stravato committed to that white line, trying to close in, just cannot get any closer than this. Still 3 car lengths now as Alec Martinez continues to do the weaving down the backstretch, breaking that draft. Seth Hatchell right there with the 33. If those two can get linked up, they might be able to get a push down to the 18, and it looks like Alec maybe not a great run out of turn 4. 7 laps to go in this race. Alec Martinez 3/10 the gap over Stravato. That closes up a little bit out of turn 2, but Stravato gets tight down the backstretch, still trying to chase him down. Behind them, side by side, Reggie Ortega, Keith Maiato, Jeremiah Vincent, Alex Pelican, and many others. Ryan Gimmel is sunk like a stone right here. That nose damage too much. So unfortunate, a driver who had a shot at this one. Looks like AJ Stravato might be starting to close back up on the 18. He's gained just a little bit in the last couple laps. Not quite enough. He is doing everything he can to pull draft down these straightaways. And Carr hard in the wall somewhere back here. That may be Reggie Ortega. And it is Dennis Faircloth, Jeremy Miller. Huge crash for those drivers. Dennis Faircloth, the car absolutely destroyed. Yellow flag in the air. This will shake things up. That was a huge impact. I don't know exactly what happened. It looks like possibly Reggie Ortega and Keith Maiato got together. Let's see if we can get an overhead view here. And Maiato went sliding across the track. Let's go back to this. Like Reggie misjudged, gets in the 36. He himself gets sent around. Huge hit for him. And Maiato comes to rest on the outside there, but unfortunately, the driver who dominated this race going to get taken out late in the going, up and through the air. And Dennis Faircloth gets into the 30 of Jeremy Miller. That is going to get him involved. I don't know if Dennis saw what happened, but huge crash right there. Reggie goes into the air. The 30 of Jeremy Miller gets taken out, essentially. That car, I thought maybe got a piece of that as well, but looks like he got to the apron. Maiato's day is done. We'll re-rack them and restack them, but Alec Martinez may have just won this race. We'll have a green-white checkered scenario to wrap things up. AJ was starting to reel him back in. He'll have to get a perfect restart, and he'll have to get some help from the cars behind him. Alec Martinez out in front here late in the going. Here's Jeremy Miller still on pit road, almost 1 minute, and Reggie Ortega as well. So this could be the saving grace for Angelo Ronis as Jeremy Miller does get rolling. He'll stay on the lead lap, I believe. So Ronis finds himself now 16th and in front of those drivers. Just a few points behind him, so that could be enough to get him right there in the mix. A really lackluster night, and maybe just enough to avoid all the chaos. And he did come down and take fresh tires, so might be able to get a few more spots out of this. The guys in front have 17 lap old tires. Still not over for anybody in the fight for the round of 8. Except for Chris Samard, who's out of this race. Unfortunate. Maiato lucky to have won last week. He went on no matter what, although he had a advantage big enough that he would be advancing no matter his result here tonight. That Carr in the same boat, both of them with 8 issues race. Pelican, he will be lining up right behind his championship foe, Alec Martinez. The two coming into this race tied in points. Just happened there may have opened the door for Anthony to advance no matter what, but still got to fight for every spot he can. Seth Hatchell in a pretty good position after all of this has occurred. Even 7 points above the cut line. He's been up here all race long, so assuming nothing happens to him on these last couple laps, he'll be advancing. But that is a big if nothing happens. Alec Martinez, he'll have control of another restart. AJ Stravano to his inside. We'll see what he can do to get a good run. Hatchell, Anthony Pelican. Anthony lagging back just a bit here. Going to try and time this, I think. And there goes the 18 off and away. Not a good jump for the 99 necessarily, but really good jump for the 33 of Stravano. He may just be alongside into turn 1. Alec tries to shut the door. He will shut the door on AJ Stravado, and that may be just enough. Now a car length between those two, but Alec way up the racetrack, nearly in the wall. That will check him up. He goes blocking down the racetrack. Here comes Stravado into turn number 3, side by side. AJ Stravado. Alec Martinez still with the advantage. AJ can't get there on the bumper now. Alec tries to throw the block. AJ pulls down to the inside. They go door to door in 1 and 2. And AJ Stravado, he may just get some help here from Seth Hatchell. Hatchell gonna go and push the 33. That may be enough to get him down into turn 3. Out in front, Martinez up high, trying to get the momentum going. Not gonna be enough, I don't think. He'll come down, throw the block on Hatchell. Hatchell will beat him to the line. AJ Stravado wins at Homestead, 3 in a row for the 33 of AJ Stravado. He owns Homestead. He has won the last 3 races here in dramatic fashion. Steals it from Alec Martinez. What a battle. There was so much happening right there. Just barely even remembered to say who won, as Alec Martinez could not hold them off. AJ Stravado steals it, and a very well-earned victory here for the driver of the 33. His 3rd win of the season, and first in a little while. The 33 able to get a great jump on that restart, and he gets to victory lane. Alec Martinez not able to hold them off. AJ gonna burn it down here on the front stretch. What a finish. AJ Stravato takes it home at Homestead for the third year in a row. We'll be right back to interview him and the rest of our top three. The most challenging issue veterans face is reintegrating back into civilian life. This is increasingly hard with combat veterans that have witnessed the brutal environments of war. The issues they face include the sense of not having a purpose, the lack of camaraderie, and no longer being on a team. Adrenaline Therapy's mission is to bring veterans out of their element and introduce them to the fun and relaxation of the off-road. This is a way to help make these veterans feel a part of something again. This is what we call adrenaline therapy. In doing so, our goal is to help eliminate the 22-a-day epidemic of veteran suicide. Learn more by visiting outlawdesertracing.com/adrenaline therapy. Came down to the last lap, but AJ Stravato finds victory lane here tonight in the Outlaw Desert Racing 225 from Homestead Miami Speedway. Let's pull him up into the booth here. Get a quick word in with our race winner. AJ Stravato, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got me.
Yes, sir.
Well, AJ, what a battle there. What a clutch restart to get right up behind that 18 machine and hang on and battle for that win. Describe those last few laps and how you got it done.
Man, that was freaking crazy. We had a speeding penalty. Had to work our way back from the beginning. I felt really good about our pace and just the line we were running. But that last restart, I just knew if I could get on Alex inside and kind of take his line away a little bit, it was going to be close. We made a little bit of contact. Luckily, netcode giveth, taketh right there, but it gave a little bit right there. We made a little bit of contact. I knew it was going to be tight in 1 and 2, and luckily Seth gave me a really good push down the backstretch, and it was just about executing 3 and 4 and just hitting our marks. And the setup was really loose on cold tires, so I think that kind of played into my favor a little bit because Alec was a little loose with, I think, a little bit of rear end damage, and just made it happen. I don't know how we made it happen. It was definitely one of the craziest finishes I've been a part of. I haven't made a last lap pass like that, cleanly like that in a while. That was awesome. So glad to take home some money. Definitely a good little morale booster, man, because haven't won in a little bit. So good to get back in victory lane, and glad some of my teammates had a decent run as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's been, it might be the longest winless run you've been on in this league, and it's not saying a whole lot. I mean, I think it's six races or 7 races, but you do find it now the 3rd time in victory lane. and you're advancing to the next round. You would have been advancing no matter where you finished at the end of this one, but advancing via a win. And we go to Chicagoland next week. How do you feel about starting off round 2 there?
Chicago's are one of my favorite tracks. I'm still trying to figure out the grip strips and just where speed is. So as long as we can figure that out a little bit, and I think the middle lane's pretty good. So it's a track with character and it's a lot of fun. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. And you know, these round of 8 is going to be definitely a big challenge. Definitely glad to get a win here, so I can get a little bit more of a cushion, because I know Zach and Keith, man, are just way up there. But I'm just glad I can actually, you know, actually practice a little bit before the race, unlike showing up to the race literally with seconds left and qualifying because of work. So it was nice to get some practice in, and I guess the little bit of practice paid off. Found some speed, and we're in victory lane talking to you, man. So glad we could do that. Glad we had a good finish. Hopefully the broadcast and you know, the viewers enjoyed that one, because that was a fun finish.
Yeah, it was a heck of a race all throughout. Just tons of action everywhere. And an exciting finish to boot. That's 3 in a row for you at this track. So you've got something figured out here, and advancing to the round of 8 with the win tonight. So anybody want to give a shout out to after that finish?
Just all the league admins, you know, below the WO podcast, yourself and V Speed, man. It's a lot of fun, all the stuff that you guys do. This is definitely one of my favorite leagues to race in. Just good time during the week. All my teammates, I know they didn't get the finishes they deserve, especially Jeremy and Zach. Hopefully Jeremy can make it in, and I know Zach had a lot of speed today. We were working well together, figuring out how the track was changing, and just didn't work in his favor, unfortunately. But looking forward to next week and the round of 8 for sure.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it as well. See if you can go back to back. 3 in a row at Homestead. You get it done here tonight. Congrats, and go celebrate. See you then.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Right, race winner, Jay Stravato, 3 in a row here. Let's now second place, Seth Hatchell, who stole that at the line, and we'll pull him up now. Seth Hatchell, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got me.
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Seth, that was a crazy finish. You were right there in the mix. You elected to provide a push to the 33 rather than maybe go 3 wide into turn 3. You know what helped make that decision for you, and what was really the mindset there those last few laps?
Yeah, the last few laps was just stay in position. Obviously, you can't, especially with this package, I can't go up there and just, you know, hold the throttle down, pass them with the dirty air and whatnot. So just trying to stay in position, and then come to that last lap into turn 3. I had to help somebody, and my thought was I was going to help AJ there, and then I could have gone 3 wide for sure, but I just didn't think the bottom there would have given me the best shot. What I was really trying to do was just stay like right on the left rear of AJ there, and sort of try and get him to move up and maybe into the 18, and just didn't work out. So I probably could have been more aggressive there, but just trying to make it back to with the point situation. I didn't need to get wrecked and lose a bunch of points and then be out next week. So played a little conservative, but nonetheless happy with the finish.
And it was very, very exciting, and you end up runner-up, so definitely securing that position to move on to the next round and continue what has been a very consistent and solid season, trying to repeat as champion here. We go to Chicagoland next week to open up round 2. How do you feel about going out there?
Feel pretty good. I think it'll be very similar to this, 1.5 miles with this package. A lot of dirty air stuff, and the wall may be a factor there. I thought it was going to be a factor tonight running the wall, and it just didn't pan out. So we'll have to see how it is there, but a lot of the same. So I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, definitely going to be a similar track, the old surface, and I believe that's your home track. So we'll see if you can get something done out there. Take home a second victory this season. But after starting 10th, you come home runner-up in a very exciting battle for the win. Anybody you want to give a shout-out to?
Yeah, I want to thank you, Adam, for doing a great job with the broadcast. Got to thank all the league sponsors for letting us do what we do. Nick and all the admins for letting us do that we do. Drivers putting on a good race, and my team V-Speed.
Awesome, Seth. Well, great race here tonight. Had a good shot at it and very exciting finish. Go celebrate and catch you in Chicago.
All right, thanks.
Right, that was second place finisher. Pull up third place now. That is going to be Alec Martin. might be a little bit disappointed, but nonetheless comes home on the podium. Alec Martinez, do you have a copy?
I do.
Well, a very exciting finish. You were trying to hold off those guys. You had the damage. There's been all kinds of coming up and through the field for you tonight, but you come home on the podium and grab those last few laps and really the last little bit of this race.
Yeah, on the pit stops, I know I kind of messed somebody up. I think it was Zach on the pit stops. I don't know. I was trying to go under I was going 51. He might have been going 50, and I don't know how bad it messed him up, but I felt like I don't know what the rule is if we can pass on the inside once we go down pit lane, once we're, through. And I thought he was honest. His pit box was honestly in front of me. So my mistake on that. I hope I didn't mess too many people up with that. So I apologize if anybody got in that. And apologize to Jeremy at the start. I don't know if you saw my wheel disconnected, and I spun down or I didn't spin, but it like hooked me down the racetrack. And I guess Jeremy was on the apron and he clobbered me. That's why I had the back end damage. So I apologize to him. I think he'll still be good. I hope he's still good on points. So we'll see on that. But yeah, those last few laps, getting the lead from I think it was just getting the lead on the pit stops, and getting AJ to get by Keith was a big help because I know Keith was really fast. And then just wish that caution did come out because I felt like I would have had a pretty decent shot at being able to stay ahead of AJ. Had about, I don't know, 6/10 of a second lead. So wish the caution would came out, would have maybe brought that home. Never say never, but man, congrats to AJ on that restart. Tried everything I could. Just the back end damage on the straightaways didn't really help, but Seth gave him the push and it pushed him away, and tried my best to stay on his quarter coming off of 4. Just didn't have enough momentum, kept up with where the air works. So like I said, congrats to him, and it was a fun race. It's not as fun as what we used to have, but excited to go to Chicago next week, and it's a fun track. Hopefully made it to the next round. Either way, it was fought hard and tried to do everything I could in my power to make sure I got into the round. It was all about beating Anthony, and did that by 1 spot tonight. So we're going to Chicago, hopefully still fighting for a championship, trying to make it into the round of 4. If not, we'll just try to go win it now.
Yeah, it's going to be very tight around the cut line, but I think you've secured your spot by finishing in front of Anthony.
Right,
there
nice.
were a bunch of guys that had problems late in this. Reggie and Jeremy both had issues, and Angelo also finished farther back. We're going to have to do some calculations, but I think you're good.
Yeah, that's good. So that's good. We'll go fight for a championship still. So I like Chicago. I hope we can move around. I don't know, this dang package. We can't pass, after 35 laps. So we're just stuck behind everybody. But we'll see. We're gonna, like I said, you gotta keep fighting. We got Talladega in that round, so never know what could happen there. Anything's possible with these guys that have all the playoff points built up. Anything's possible. Could have a big wreck or something. But we're gonna go keep fighting. I'm excited for this next round. We're gonna try to go fight for a championship in Atlanta.
So you're doing exactly what you have to do here tonight. Very strong run after overcoming some adversity. A lot to be proud of in this one. So 3rd place will do it for you here tonight at Homestead. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, first and foremost, you for doing this broadcast. All the admins that put this league up. All the drivers for keeping it relatively clean tonight. Shout out to AJ again for winning the race. He did everything he needed to do to come up. My family watching and all the other viewers watching today. It was hope put on a good show for you guys. Hope the finish was exciting. And like I said, we'll go into next week, try to win the championship. Thanks to Outlaw Desert Racing for sponsoring the race tonight. Man, that was fun. Hopefully we put on a show for everybody watching. And like I said, we'll go try to get them next week in Chicago.
They're definitely exciting. Congrats on P3. Catch you next week.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Adam. We'll see you.
Right. That is Alec Martinez, 3rd place finisher, had a shot at the win here, and able to hold him off until the last set of. He will come home in place. Let's take a look at the rest of the results. Your race winner tonight, though, AJ Stravato, takes it home here at Homestead, Miami for the 3rd race in a row. 3rd at Homestead in a row in this league. Absolutely has this place down. He will take home the victory after starting on the front row in race. 7 cautions, 11 total lead changes, and the last one happening on the last lap. Seth Hatchell finishes 2nd. Alec Martinez 3rd. He should be moving on. Fourth place, Anthony Pelican. He will be moving on as well. We've got to do the final calculations and points, but I believe Anthony, based on that finish, should be moving on. He's quite a ways in front of some of the guys who were pretty close to him in points. Bradley Wilson finishes in 6th. A very valiant effort late in the going, especially to get up there. That's the highest he was all race long. 6th place, not going to be quite enough. I believe he did it. Jeremiah Vincent finishes 7th. It's going to be close for him as well. It's a good run. We'll have to do the math on that. He may be just on the outside. James Loveland, a good run, finishes 8th. Cody Adkins, 9th here tonight. Angelo Ronis with the fresh tires finishes in 10th place, which just enough to squeak out a round of 8 appearance. In 11th was Josiah Vincent, 12th. Ryan Gemmel, after a very strong run, just too much damage too late. Garrett Wolfenbarger finishes 13th. 14th, Zach Carr. He'll be moving on to the next round with his win from last week. Alan Dice finishes 15th. Dallas Sullivan 16th. Jeremy Miller 17th. That late wreck may have knocked him out of this. We'll have to do math again. Brandon Pearl 18th. Reggie Ortega 19th. Could also potentially out. Keith Maiato advancing no matter what. Finished here. 21st was Dennis Faircloth. 22nd, Zach Smith. 3rd was Ian Sulfridge. 24th, Joshua Abbey. 25th, Eric Lambert. 26th, Chris Samard. He'll be eliminated, so won't be moving on to the round 8. 27th, Jordan Shepler. 28th, Timmy Emanuele. 29th, Robert Gilmore here. I do want to thank you so much for tuning in here on V-Speed. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Find us on all these different social media outlets across the web: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, where we post race announcements before each and every broadcast. You can find us at vsim.com to learn more about the services that we offer, from broadcasting to custom design work, paint, much more. Find us there at vsim.com. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed, hit that subscribe button and the like button. Back next week with the Yellow Cup Series round of 8 opener at Chicagoland. Have a good night.